Hi, I'm Lorna of Lorna Green Yoga, and today I want to share with you an introduction to the lung and the large intestine energy meridians. According to traditional Chinese medicine and Taoism, everything in life requires balance, yin and yang, terms that I'm sure you've come across before. And it's due to this yin and yang that energy meridians come in pairs. There's a yin organ and it has a counterpart, which is yang. In our pairing today, the lung meridian is the yin organ and the large intestine is considered yang. To put this perhaps in more tangible terms, yin organs are solid and their main function is to store our energies and fluids, while yang organs are hollow and their main function is to transform and transmit energies and fluids. Each pairing's chi or energy has specific functions throughout the body and is associated with a particular element and different emotions. So, in traditional Chinese medicine, emotional imbalance equals energetic imbalance. Now, just as we have physical scar tissue in the body that can be broken down and manipulated and repaired or eased in some way, we carry emotional scars too. And these can be worked through via the meridian system. The practice of yin yoga, acupuncture, or acupressure all assist in restoring harmony back to the body, releasing these stagnant and often toxic emotions. The large intestine and the lung are both associated with emotions like sadness, disappointment, and grief. Physically, an imbalance in the lung can result in disorders of the respiratory system, so problems in the chest, the lungs, the throat, and the nose. Energetic imbalance in the large intestine shows up as any physical disorder around the digestive system, but also includes troubles with the eyes, the nose, and the throat. So let's take a look at the physical position, first of all, of the lung and large intestine meridians. The lung meridian begins in the upper and outer part of the chest, in the crease of the shoulder, also known as the deltopectoral triangle. Now, when I say this is the beginning of the lung meridian, it's the point where this meridian becomes more superficial. It actually weaves its way internally before it reaches this point, but this is where it's most easily influenced because it's nearer to the surface of the skin. So it begins in this deltopectoral triangle. It waves its way around the shoulder and runs down the inside of the arm. Now, the easiest way to know whether you're on the inside or the outside is just to turn your palm to face forward, thumb up, and you'll be able to track the inside of the arm really easily. You'll then come to a fleshy part on the palm, known as the thenar eminence, traveling over that all the way to the tip of the thumb, and that completes the direction of flow for the lung energy meridian. Its counterpart, the large intestine, begins at the first finger and it travels up the yang side of the body, so the opposite, which is then the posterior side or the back of the arm. So starting at the tip of the first finger, this energy meridian travels around the finger and then down through this V between the thumb and the first finger and along the back of the arm. Now again, if you turn your palm to face forward, that thumb facing up, it's really easy to track the back or posterior section of your arm. Travel up and around the shoulder, just above the clavicle. It sort of traces along the line of the clavicle, up the neck, across the cheek to the side of the nose. And this is where it gets interesting because it actually crosses over to the opposite side and then you finish on the same side that you've started. The large intestine meridian is actually the only meridian in the body that crosses over to the opposite side from where it begins. And that completes the energetic flow of the large intestine meridian. So now that you know where these meridians are situated in the body, you'll understand how easy it is to influence these meridians without even realizing it. One of the most obvious ways that you can do that is when you slump, perhaps after a long time sitting at a desk. You can inadvertently block these energy channels. But how can you knowingly influence your energy meridians? Well, there is a super simple technique called a meridian flush, which is basically a strong stimulation of a specific meridian, keeping the flow open and regular and preventing any blockages. To do a flush, you're going to trace the energy meridian backwards once and then forwards 3 times. It is a great way to clear any stagnant energy, and you can start your day like this or use the technique anytime you feel you need it. Following a meridian in the normal direction of flow is strengthening, while tracing in the opposite direction will calm and sedate that particular channel. Just remember when you do this that balance is always key. So to carry out a meridian flush, we're going to start at the lung. So you might remember a few moments ago, I talked about the direction of flow for the lung meridian moving from this point at the shoulder crease down the inside of the arm, ending at the tip of the thumb. So we're going to begin at the tip of the thumb and move once in the reverse direction and then 3 times with the flow of energy. So placing a couple of fingers of the opposite hand to the tip of your thumb, you're going to slide down that thenar eminence along the inside of the arm, just traveling all the way up to that point in at the shoulder, and then shake out your hand because you've just shifted a lot of energy. You've actually removed a lot of energy, excess energy from that particular channel. So you want to shake it off before you move in the direction of flow. And then we're going to come 3 times from the shoulder down to the thumb. So sliding the fingers to the inside of the arm. And I like to kind of just give my thumb a little squeeze with my hand. 2 and 3. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So we're going to begin tip of the thumb with the opposite hand, sliding to the inside, shake out the excess energy, and then we're going to go 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Take a moment just to settle into your breath, maybe notice any changes in your body. There's no rush when you do. No rush to do a flush. Take some breaths. Close your eyes if it feels good to do so. And then you're going to continue with the large intestine. So the direction of flow for the large intestine is to go from the first finger along the back of the arm and finishing this little crossover under the nose. So to go once in the opposite direction, that means we're going to begin at the side of the nose. So I'm going to work on my left side first of all. So right finger goes to the left side nostril. Sliding under, back across, cross my cheek, down the neck, shoulder, slide down the back of the arm and all the way to the tip of the finger, shake out your hand once again. Then we're going to repeat 3 times with the direction of flow, sliding up, 2, and 3. Same on the other side. So swapping the hands. Shake, shake, shake when you do that one in reverse. And then we begin 1, 2, and 3. Take your palms to your belly. Close your eyes if it feels good. Just take some normal breaths. You might feel some warmth in the palms, maybe a little bit of tingling, perhaps a lightness through your body. Just take note of any physical changes you experience and maybe notice any mental changes. Perhaps you feel a little bit calmer, a little bit more ready to take on whatever the world throws at you. Fluttering the eyelids open when you feel ready. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope this has perhaps taught you some information that you didn't already know, or maybe it has just reinforced some information you already had, and it's a way that you can start using this energy work in your daily practice once again. Now, I'm aware that some of you will be watching today and you will be thinking, what a load of nonsense that is. How can rubbing my arms possibly make any difference to my health and happiness? Well, I've got 2 things that I want to say to you if that is the thought that's in your head. The first thing that I want to say is a massive thank you. Thank you for making it this far through the video. And the second thing is, if you've made it this far, what have you got to lose? It's only going to cost you a couple of minutes of your day to include this practice in your routine. And the results, well, you might be very, very pleasantly surprised. So I would encourage you to try this daily for at least 14 days. Try it for a couple of weeks. And if you are going to give this a go, why don't you share that news with me? Let me know that you're trying something new. I would love to hear when people are trying out something new. And tell me about your wins. Tell me about the experience and the changes that are taking place as you introduce this practice into your life. Now that you know a little bit more about the lung and large intestine meridians, you'll understand why it's such a great way of keeping your body strong and perhaps avoiding things like the dreaded cold lurgy as we move towards the autumn and the colder months. Thank you again for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure to share this information, and I really do want to hear what your experience is when you do this practice.